What's up, everyone? This is Zarina with Zarina's Guides, and I am also Blue Rain in a game of Upland and on a bunch of my social medias. Blue, like the French blue, BLEURAIN. So if you want to hit me up, follow me on Instagram, follow me in Upland if you're playing. So, look me up as a player, hit that follow, see what's up with me. So right now I'm actually going to do a comparison. I used to do the floors daily, guys, daily. So every day I was looking up the Upland floors, but that got to be ridiculous. And I'm gonna actually show you why it's not doable for me anymore at that consistency and why that is so. So let's jump into the floors. 7 months ago was the last time I had the ability to look those floors up and post them. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look today. So let's jump into it. I'm going to share a screen. And I'm going to share this one. Let's do it. So actually, you know what? I'm going to share my entire screen so I can switch around for a little bit. So just bear with me while I get to this tab there. So this is my spreadsheet. You can see I actually have to change this date to today's date because I just did this today. I was back in January, was going to do it, but then I got yeah, that's the right date. I got busy. So today, March 2nd, is when I got to this, finally finished it up, actually, so I restarted it, did it again. And the reason it takes so long to do this is because of these jailbirds. And some, like I'm literally clicking on name after name. So you can go over here and upxland.me, and let's just, like, for example, Detroit. I'm just going to pull it up really quick and show you guys before we hit those floors all together. When you go to Detroit and search by UpX, and you're looking at sales price, there are just so many people on this list who are in jail. So I have to click until I finally find someone who's not in jail. And that's very time consuming. Sorry, a dog's barking. Hang on. Okay. Sorry. So all the clicking to see who's in jail is quite frustrating, to be honest. And it's very time consuming, and I cannot do that daily. I cannot. I have a list of who's in jail kept, like you can see that now. All these people, I just keep a list, but then there's always someone else added to the list. So it's like I have to keep searching, and it's just so annoying. So it took me almost 2 hours to do the floor today, about an hour and 30 minutes to look everything up and make sure the floor was actually legitimately the floor, not a person in jail. So taking a look, let's go ahead and look. Arlington, my last time was over here, August 9th. You can see the prices over there, what they were. So if you're curious what it means, like how, like, you don't want to do the math, like it's 41% up. Well, that's 41% up for 14,000 UpX. So Arlington's we're going to go down the list. So Arlington is up on the UpX side from where it was. Dollar side, though, it's only up about 3.4%. It was $5.88 the last time I checked. And yeah, it hasn't come up a whole lot, but at least it's in the green. That UpX side, though, it came up a little. That's a good bit to come up. So that's a decent price and makes me want to go sell some UpX or sell some Arlington for UpX, but I don't actually have a lot of Arlington to sell out. Bakersfield also came up nicely, 25%, but 7 months. So coming up only 25%. I'm not sure if that's great or not, but it's not bad. Another 7 months, it could be up another 25%, which wouldn't be bad, I suppose. But dollar-wise, it is down. It is $3.15, which is that ubiquitous amount of low city floor prices, like most of Upland probably is at $3.15 if we counted the average. Berlin is up. It went up from 22,000 UpX to 25,000, basically. And on the dollar side, coming up from 630 to 683. It's a small jump. Nothing. It seems to me like that's less than it should be. Is that D4? Yeah, it really is. 8%. Huh. Anyways. So there's that. And then Bermuda actually came up quite a bit. It was at 14,000 last time I checked. And now it's at 27,000, almost 28,000 UpX. So quite a big jump for the UpX side. But on the dollar side, nothing. It didn't move at all. In 7 months, it stayed 578 is the lowest. And that person's not in jail. So that's really the lowest. So that's an interesting interesting that that's the number. But yeah, 7 months later, still that same 0 0. Birmingham is another place that hasn't changed as far as the dollar side, but that's not surprising because it's $3.15, which is as low as you can go. It did come up from 9,859 over to 12,179. So Birmingham is not doing too bad. The Bronx also came up, and it's just a little bit over Birmingham as far as the Epic side. They're both at that $3.15, but that was a drop for Bronx. Bronx was at 365, but it is now 315. Brooklyn, also a 315 floor, didn't change, but it did come up in the Epic side. A lot of actually the cities did come up in the Epics, which is nice. This came up from the 6,533 to 7,874. It's a 20% jump. Buenos Aires came up only a little bit, very tiny bit, from 10,445 to 11,025 in the Epics. Dollar side is above 315 though, so that is something. It is 347. So to get out of 315, that's an accomplishment, considering these other cities like Chicago, still 315. The Epic side came up a little bit, 6,825 from 5,775. Cleveland surpassing Chicago on the Epic side, up to 8,800. 108. It was 6,930. I really don't understand why Cleveland has been kind of like typically out more pricey than Chicago. Cleveland is not anything to me. I'm like not even sure who wants staying in Cleveland, but whatever the case is, people are buying there. So that's the floor. Dallas came up nicely from 13,598 up to 18,375. 35% growth, and it's also above $3.15 on that floor. Not too bad at $5.14 for Dallas. Detroit, $3.15, but the Epic floor actually did come up. So for a long time, it was in that 4,000 range. It's up to 5,985. Not too bad for the Epic side for Detroit, but look at all the jailbirds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 people I had to click on. Well, actually, some of them were already there, so I didn't have to click on all of them. But 44 people misleading people with their floor price. And they're not it for the Epic side before you hit the true Epic's floor of 5,985. So yeah, definitely annoying that those are so many people setting the floor that are cheaters. But okay, where we at? We're at Detroit goes to Frederick, looks like, which is new. So I don't have any previous. This shouldn't be green. It should be white because I didn't have anything there before. All right. So these Frederick I didn't have before. So right now this is where we're at with Frederick. We got is it Frederick spelled right? I feel like it's Frederick. Hang on. Let me check that real quick. I'm like, I feel like maybe that's not the right spelling. I'm going to just double check real quick because I don't want it to stay that way if it's wrong. Yeah, it's got an ER. I thought so. All right. Frederick. All right. Oops. No, I really messed it up. Sorry. There. Now that looks right. Yes, it looks right now. Okay. All right. So that's where that is. Fresno came up on the Epic side to where it is. From 6,300 to 7,583, 20%, but the floor is still 315. Kansas City also 315, but it came up on the Epic side, a good deal. It's 10,000, which is interesting because we're going to see LA is not that much. So Kansas City costs more than LA. It costs more than Chicago, costs more than a lot of places. 10,000 Epics right now. $3.15 only for for what you can get for your money. But Epics wise, some people might be able to go ahead and flip for a little less if they wanted to. Las Vegas, it did come up a little bit. It was at 10,499 last time. But considering that we got Spark Wars coming and this is where it's at, it's not really that impressive because I would think we could be doing better. $3.15 for that floor too. When they first announced Spark Wars coming to Vegas, the floor was higher. It's been dwindling down again. So unfortunately, you got to sell while it's hot. London came up. London's looking better than it was looking. It was going down. Now it's at 23,100, 37% increase. It's above $3.15 for the floor, which is not where Paris is. So you're going to see that. But right now, London's $6.19. Is that good? It's pretty pricey over in London. So I don't know if that's a good amount, but it's up in the green. Los Angeles is only 8,925 UPIX. It was at 7,345 UPIX last time, so it did come up, but it's like less than it's less than Las Vegas. It's less than Kansas. It's not too far above Fresno. $3.15 for that floor. Lucelle did go down. Lucelle's one of the only like few cities that actually went down on both sides, the UPIX and dollar sides. And now there's that $102 Lucelle property. Is it worth it? It's very above mint. There are no city halls, to my knowledge, in Lucelle. Why you'd want to buy a property for $100 in the game of Upland in Lucelle, I do not know. I think people might just really have some type of like major issues with thinking that people care if they have a Lucelle property. I don't. If you own Lucelle, I'm not impressed. I just think why. Anyways, Manhattan. Sad to see Manhattan has been dwindling and dwindling since I started this game. When I early started back in $200, that's what it was costing for just the floor. And then as we can see, it's now down to $14.70. And that's not like a one-off. I was like, oh, I'll buy this for one-off. No, it's not really. There's like $15 ones, 15 something. Like it's pretty much, if you want to go to 13, maybe you might be like, oh, someone's selling for 13. But even that, I think you might have to actually, to be a steal at this point, maybe be $10. Sorry about the dogs. So anyways, yeah, this is it's kind of a shame. So down on the UPIX side, down on the dollar side, and I don't see that shooting back up anytime soon with the way it's been progressing. Miami, 21,682. It came up 37, almost 38%. The dollar side came up too. It's not $3.15 there. It is $5.14. It is up 8%. Miami Beach, I didn't have before. It is pretty pricey right now in Miami Beach. I'd say let it become a Manhattan and just hold off. If you haven't got one yet, you don't need it yet. So you can wait for the prices to come down because they probably will. No, that's not financial advice or anything, but just this the way it works out. 44,000 right now for a Miami Beach floor property. Do you need it? Probably not. 987 for the dollar side. Nashville came up on the UPIX side, 10,290, up 40%, but it is at 315 for that dollar side. New Orleans had a few jailbirds come on the map. They weren't there before, but the UPIX side did come up 64%. 12,390 on the New Orleans. That's actually pretty good. Unfortunately, 315 for that dollar floor, not moving. Oakland, also $3.15 for the floor, not moving. It has stayed the same, but Oakland came up 12% on the UPIX side, 10,499, not too shabby. And then we got Park City, a new one. I didn't have this before 7 months ago, but here it is. And it is at $38,499 for the UPIX side and $8.40 right now for the dollar side. I'd say stay tuned and you'll see that drop down. So I'm not in a rush to go buy more Park City. It's pricey for the dollar side. It's maybe a good time if you want to sell, if you have something that you're actually willing to sell for less than that. Could be a good time for you to go ahead and get your money out. Paris dropped on that UPIX side quite a lot. So why something's wrong here. Hang on. I see now. I've got to fix something. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hang on. I think, yeah, definitely not showing my Paris side. Hang on. So this, oh, I know what it is. I have to do this. Park City, yeah, I didn't have anything. It's fine. All right, there we go. So like I knew Paris dropped a lot right there on that side, and now I can see it 44. And let me make, yeah, 44% down. Um, Paris being $3.15 is really sad to me. Um, I thought Paris was going to be better than that. London's been better than that. London's $6. So Paris, like it's Paris. How is it $3.15? I don't even know, but it is. So that's what you can get Paris for. So if you're buying your properties over for 11, almost 12,000 UPX, you can hope to return them right now for about $3. Um, is it worth getting in line with? I don't know. Porto, nine. Oops, so sorry. Porto is 9,870. It is up 17% on the dollar side. It's still 315. Queens coming up to 7,000 from the 5,000 range in UPIC. So that's a decent amount, 29%, but still 315 on the dollar side. Rio came up from the 5,000 realm to 6,823, still under a lot of the other UPIX floors, but it came up almost 30%, $3.15 there too. Rutherford down on the dollar side of 50%. Like it's down to $9.32. And I think he's not too far off from Manhattan right now. So once upon a time, Rutherford was it was like $45 for Rutherford floors. Here it is where you see it, and that's where it is. But the UPIX side, it's up a little bit from where it was, from 51 to 57. So that's a little bit of a comeback. Saint Denis. Saint Denis is actually down on the UPIX side from when I last looked at it 7 months ago. It's down to 7,978. Look at all the jailbirds there setting the UPIX floor. So if you see things lower, you're like, it's not true. So don't save yourself a click if you see something lower, because it's not true. They're in jail. But the dollar side is higher than $3.15, which is crazy. It's $4.19 for a Saint Denis property. Well, Paris is $3.15. I think if you're going to try to sell for $4, it might be your time to do that before this does slip into that $3.15 realm, because I cannot see this staying high and going higher. I just can't. Not when Paris is 315. San Francisco has come up a little bit since last time on the UPIX side. 23,000 is where we're at, almost 24,000 UPIX. Dollar side though, down to $5.03, and it's been going down. So who knows? It might be $3.15 for San Francisco anytime here. Santa Clara, 36,729. It's only gone down a smidge on the UPIX side, and on the dollar side it's down too, but it's only gone down a smidge. I might say Santa Clara might be one of the better places for your buck if you're gonna spin, because even though it's gone down, it's more consistent than the other cities, and a lot of people hunt there. So I could see Santa Clara going back up, but we'll see. Sao Paulo, $3.15 to that floor, 7,350 UPIX. It is up from 6,300, so it did go up. That's just nice. It's going up there a little bit. Sao Paulo being at this price, there's so many FSAs that are in Sao Paulo too. So many FSA players can be flipping probably for sure for a gain if they are going to sell. Slough looking like it went up 65%. From 4,620 over to 7,665. That's a big jump in 7 months. It's like people must want to be there. But again, another place with numerous jailbirds. So I had to go through all of these. I wanted to give up my life at this point when I'm having to look up through all these people and click. Like I'm sure there's probably 40 names there. And this is today. Like I had it this was like a new list. Like I had to click on all of those just to get this, to find out this is where the floor is. So I hope you appreciate it if you're looking to buy there. $3.15 though. As South Lake Tahoe has come up, it was at 17,000. It's at 22,000. The UPIX side went up, but the dollar side did go down by 25%, down from $6.30 to $4.72. I can see that going to $3.15 too. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of demand for the city because you have to be able to drive there, and I'm not sure if people care about that. But you don't have to drive there anymore because it's secondary, so I'm not really sure if it matters. But MetaVenture wise, that matters. All right, Staten Island. It is up from 6,825 to 7,873. And that's kind of cute. Funny. It's like Staten Island is kind of like Cleveland to me. It's like, who wants to be there? But you do have a increase in the Upper side, $3.15 for that floor. So not a big deal. Stockton, $3.15. It has come up a little bit too, from 4,000 to 6,563. So Stockton's come up. In Tokyo, it has come up from 16,675 to 22,905, 950, 37% increase. But it's down on the dollar side, almost 2%, not quite 5.15. It is $2 above the national floor average in Upland. Trenton, 3.15. But look at that Upland floor. That Upland floor here, it's like it's in a weird spot. Let me put it down. That's not what I wanted to do. Hang on. There you go. It's 48% increase. So it's come up a lot in Trenton. On the Upland side, the dollar side is, of course, only 3.15. And then we ended off with our Washington, D.C., 28,000. It is up from 23,000 on the Upland side, but it's down just about 14% down, $6.30. 735 was where it was at last. So it's creeping downwards too. All right, that is your update on the floors. I hope you guys appreciate it and you can see what you should do. Don't forget collections obviously are more than the floor. Certain neighborhoods are going to be way more than the floor too. So you definitely check the neighborhood your properties are in before you sell them. Going over to upxland.me, just for example, right now, if you go to LA, we just saw the LA floor, but I've been hearing a lot about Robot City or something like that in Los Angeles. It's a node in the neighborhood of Chatsworth. So check out Chatsworth. It's 12,600 for the Upix floor. Los Angeles floor was only 8,900. So it's a little bit above the floor of the city, but also let's see how it's doing dollar-wise. It's $378. So there's one for $378 before it jumps to $5. So maybe people might want to buy just that one $378 because it's not $315, and they are working on this node, so you can see the prices kind of going up. There's actually a micro house right here for $7.87, 88 cents. Might be worth it for when a small townhouse, $10.50. So these might be worth it because they're in the node. If you wanted to set your address to their address to help them out with becoming collections, that might work. And these are this is like a townhouse for $10.50. When Spark Wars does hit LA, it might be nice to have that townhouse. So something to think about. All right, guys, this is it for me with the floor. I hope you appreciate it. I am going to go ahead and take off now, and that's it for today. See you in Upland. Happy hunting.